Joining us now is Payam Akhavan. He is a professor of international law at McGill University. He was formerly a war crimes prosecutor at The Hague, and he was born in Tehran. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us, Payam.
Good afternoon.
Now, you are working primarily to ensure, or to take a closer look at the whole issue of human rights, and you want this to go before the International Criminal Court for Crimes Against Humanity. Tell us more about what you want to do here.
Well, we have an organization, the Iran Human Rights Documentation Center, which has been looking at the crimes of the Islamic Republic throughout the past 30 years. And what we see today in the streets of Iran, in the brutal repression of the protests, is beginning to resemble more and more a widespread systematic pattern of serious human rights abuses, savage beatings, murder, torture, imprisonment, disappearances. And because there is control on foreign journalists, as you just pointed out, we don't really know the extent of those atrocities. We have clearly accounts of people being killed with live rounds in the street. We have accounts of hundreds of people that have been arrested and taken to the notorious Evin prison and elsewhere, where they're most likely being subjected to torture, probably to force them to confess to being agents of a foreign conspiracy, so that the regime can portray the protests in Iran somehow as part of a foreign conspiracy. And we have some disturbing reports that Basij militia have gone to hospitals and forced doctors to sign death certificates for injured protesters, who were then put on trucks and taken away to undisclosed locations. And what is clear now is that with the millions of people that have poured out into the streets to protest against the hardliners, that at some point the hardliners may be tempted to impose a final solution. Since there's no way that they can restore law and order, they may be tempted to engage in large-scale mass killings of the protesters. The international community, in order to prevent such an outcome, should send a clear signal to the Iranian leaders that the International Criminal Court will investigate any such atrocities and bring them to justice.
You know, without foreign media there, and as you said, without the ability to verify what's going on, how are you getting this information?
We have various sources, almost all of them electronic. The students and other largely young leaders that are at the forefront of these demonstrations are very technologically savvy. So whether it's through Twitter or Facebook or other internet media, this information is filtering out. But we're concerned more than anything with preventing an escalation of the killings. So far, the killings, the arrests, the tortures have been somewhat limited, although their scale is still very serious. What we fear is that in the coming days, if the hardliners finally realize that there's no way for them to prevail in this contest over the elections, over who should be ruling Iran, if they realize that they are cornered, that there's no way out for them, and they decide to hold on to power at all costs, we may see a bloodbath in which tens of thousands of people are killed on the streets. And that's why it's important now to send a message that any such action will be dealt with firmly by the international community.
Payam, thank you so much for joining us today with this information. Payam Akhavan, thank you so much.
Thank you.